Online mock tests are really important, and in and we have to prepare our own notes. That will be very much useful. Even I applied for RBI interview, I did not clear it. So interview it's not in completely in our hands.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to ixamBee, and we are back with another success story for SEBI 2024. I have with me Mr. Vamsi Kiran, who is now a SEBI Grade A officer from the general stream. So, many congratulations, Vamsi Kiran.
Thank you very much.
And thank you for taking out time to share your journey. I'm sure a lot of students would be looking forward to this conversation to understand how you went about your preparation. And again, a very interesting story of consistent efforts towards the goal. So, Vamsi Kiran did his BTech and soon after, and this was in 2015, soon
Yes,
after he started working, he worked with the State Bank of India as a
yes,
PO. Then he also shifted and is currently working in the income tax department of the government. However, he wanted to be with a regulatory body and he had been given exams. Uh, and very luckily, or I would say it is the hard work of all the years that Vamsi Kiran had been putting in. This was his last attempt, and finally his dream of being and working with a regulatory body came true in his last attempt. Very many congratulations, Vamsi, once again, because I'm sure you are elated and you must
thank
have
you.
been scared also that this is my last attempt, what will happen? But finally you made it. So
Yes,
um,
thank you very much.
great. So Vamsi, let's start with when and did you decide that you want to give exam for SEBI, and what was your approach then? And
Yes.
how do you think that approach changed over the years in this particular attempt that you gave?
Yes, actually, I joined in the SBI PO. While I joined SBI PO, I came to know about regulatory body examinations.
Mhm.
That something other big is there, which are very attractive and challenging, and these are very good profiles actually. So I got to know about RBI exam first of all.
Okay.
So I started preparing for RBI for a better career option in
Mhm.
SBI. And slowly I got to know that there is also SEBI is one more another regulatory exam which is equivalent to same similarly it is important like RBI also. So I have prepared simultaneously for RBI and SEBI. Mm, and particularly because the course the syllabus is somewhat similar in both the examinations. So
Right.
like management is a common part in, and some scheme government schemes will be similar, current affairs related questions will be similar. So I
Right.
prepared it simultaneously, and while was working in say, SBA itself, I started slowly, but later on that I thought that this preparation is not sufficient like
Mhm.
while working. So I taken a switch to government side to devote some more time, like weekends also. In banks we used to go sometimes. So in government side little it comparatively I can devote more time. So from then on I started preparing seriously RBI and SEBI.
Okay. So if I talk about, say, the first attempt in SEBI when you gave in 2021,
Yes,
uh,
yes.
and then now 2024, what's the difference?
Yes, in first attempt, like that syllabus is completely new syllabus for me. Like costing, accounting, companies. Like I could not cover everything. Like I
Mhm.
started basics. I have cleared. I have cleared phase one. But in phase two, like it's like some deep questions and numericals were asked. And in
Yes.
costing also, I am not that good. Like so that was not sufficient actually in 2021. And again in 22 also, I think SEBI was conducted. SEBI exam was conducted. Then I improved my performance, but still it was not sufficient. This time I prepared thoroughly, and again this time paper was also came little easier. Some basics were asked, and model was also changed. Previously 50 questions were there, now 100 questions were there. So
Yes.
everything was touched. Like not just a few questions were asked in 50. Like 100 questions are the means every syllable, everything was covered.
Everything was
It's comparatively easy actually this time.
okay. So
Yes.
Okay, so either we can say it was comparatively easy, or we can say because the preparation was better, it felt easy. That
Yes, yes,
also happens.
yes, yes,
That's You touched upon actually costing and account subjects, and actually that's a very, very important, interesting question, especially for a person who comes from a non-finance
yes, yes,
background in terms of academics.
yes, yes,
These were absolutely new subjects for you. So, what was your strategy to approach this? Yes, you have improved over the years, I understand, but
yes, yes.
how much time were you devoting, and how were you preparing for this accounts and costing and the numerical part?
Yes, yes. Costings are like 1 week, one chapter. I can start it like what is the costing, labor costing, material costing, and so I have to prepare. I used to prepare notes like my own notes for referring materials, and I used to prepare my notes and revise them like so that I will not forget. And so costing is like subjective. Like if we know the concept, we can do well in costing. And
Hmm.
in accounting also, like some basic accounting rules are there. If we understand that, it will be easier. Like so first basics I have clear, I have been thoroughly studying and preparing for basics, and later on I used to attend mock tests. In that we can revise, and whatever mistakes are there, I can rectify those mistakes. So first basics should be thorough, in particularly in costing and accounting. Not in-depth questions were asked, but costing and accounting basics are really important. And but particularly these two subjects are new, very little tougher. Remaining subjects like management and company sector comparatively easier. We can study means it will be easier. If you refer once or twice, it will be easier. Only costing is like so many chapters are there. We have to study like we have to devote separate portions. This week I will complete this portion like that. I used to prepare notes actually.
Okay, and how much time on an average you must be studying in a
Uh,
week?
in a week, it's like in a day, like 1 or 2 hours around.
Okay.
In mostly in weekends only, it is possible for, as I'm working, 2 hours or 2.5 hours. I used to devote as I prepared from long time. No, so management is I thoroughly prepared management and company sector. So
Mm-hmm.
as I prepared long time, it's like I used to only refer that's it.
Yes.
Costing and accounting, I used to study a little deeply, so that I will not make any 2-3 hours around like that, around that.
Okay. Okay. And any specific suggestions about general awareness? Although, it is a part of the qualifying and not so much weightage is given in the SEBI
Yes,
exam,
yes,
but
yes,
any
yes.
special suggestions you will give about how general awareness you prepared, and was it important for your paper two
Yes.
preparation also or not?
Yes, yes. General awareness, yes. It is for particularly for phase one,
Yeah.
but it will be useful for interview and also. So mostly related to economic related current affairs are important. So although there will be bulky material, we have to refer only select like economic related current affairs, which is in news particularly. Those are those if we refer, then it is enough for clearing phase one. Only specific cutoff is there. If we clear
Mhm.
that, it is enough. So economic related current affairs, these will be useful in interview also, and in page two also it may ask. Means mostly financial awareness related and circulars related current affairs are important. Rather than reading all government schemes are not much asked in SEBI actually.
Yeah,
Not like state government schemes or yojanas are not asked. Mostly financial related current affairs are asked
true.
in
So,
SEBI.
schemes and policies
Yes,
related
and
to the people, population, various welfare
yes,
schemes
yes,
and all, and policies, they're not mostly asked in
yes, yes.
SEBI. SEBI
SEBI, yes,
focuses more on, general economy related and any
yes, yes,
financial markets related, anything that RBI or SEBI may come out in terms of the markets
yes,
related
yes,
changes and all. So yes, that's important, and very rightly said that these really help in your interview stage also.
yes, yes, yes,
Apart from your phase one, and indirectly maybe in phase two, one or two questions
yes,
could
yes.
be asked there. So great. Vamsi, were you referring to any newspaper? Um,
In interview, I used to refer Live Mint newspaper.
Right. Okay. Yeah, that's
It's
an
good.
interesting paper for people who are not very avid
Yes, yes,
newspaper readers, because it's relatively simpler.
Yes,
The
yes,
language is simpler and
yes, yes,
easy to understand. And yes,
yes,
an interview stage, it gives you good articles from which you can get fodder
yes, yes, yes,
talk about. So yeah, that can be very useful. It's one of a very good newspaper, especially for the starters.
yes, yes,
Right. Vamsi, you've been also, using the iXamB material. So, how was it useful when it came to your phase two, phase one, or your interview preparation?
yes, yes. In phase two, I attempted almost all online mock tests, I exam. And apart from the descriptive also, I attempted descriptive solution explanation was like they will evaluate our answers,
Yeah.
and they will give a clear like what to rectify the mistakes. That was really good enough. Like it will be very helpful if we write something in descriptive, and they will evaluate what the mistakes you are doing, because descriptive is actually underrated, but it is more important than anything in, because all will read costing accounting, but descriptive mostly people will even I used to neglect it before, but descriptive is very important. Like selective, some in one exam I forgot to write title in NABARD exam, precise
Mhm.
title. So
Mhm.
like title carries 5 marks, like
Yeah.
so if we practice it will be useful, and the solutions given by that team is also very helpful.
Yes, so Vamsi Kiran, thank you for bringing that up. Actually, I also missed. Yes, in your phase two, there is a separate paper on descriptive English, and very
Yes,
rightly said, it is, many times neglected or underrated. But to be honest, it is not very difficult if,
yes,
give some dedicated time and do a little practice.
yes,
Uh,
yes,
and then it really helps. And yes, you are one of the few students who attempted all the mocks of descriptive also. And so I'm sure that helped improve your speed also. It helps in
yes, yes,
typing speed also, because in the actual exam you have to type and also accommodate any kind of situations where the keyboard becomes, or there are technical errors and all, so that also one is able and mentally prepared to handle. So that's great, and we are glad that it helped you
yes.
also. Moving to the interview stage, how did you go about preparing your interview, and how was your actual interview experience?
Yeah, I have taken mock interview also in exam. It's like similar questions were asked in real interview. Interviews all around about job profile, like a previous job profile and current related events, market events, and interview around it will be take around 15 to 20 minutes for me. Um, Mostly related to my current job profile they have asked. Like I have referred a few news, like as I have said, Live Mint newspaper, like few headlines really important. Even on the day of interview, some news was there. That was even that one they asked. So newspaper is the most important source for interview, and SEBI website, like how many departments are there in SEBI,
Yeah.
uh, like SEBI, what is the functions, preamble of SEBI, like that.
Mhm.
SEBI website is useful for interview preparation. Annual
Very.
report. Yes,
Yeah, so this time they have asked a lot of SEBI related basic questions, something that is
yes, yes,
really expected, like, SEBI's preamble, about SEBI's functions, SEBI's departments. So these have been, common themes
yes,
and
yes,
questions that have been asked this year. And rightly so, the organization that we are going to work in, one should know well about that
yes,
organization. And yes, another very, very expected line of questions is from your profile. And if you are a
yes,
working professional, related to your work and your past experiences, one of the very, most probable area of questioning in an interview. So I think similar happened with you, which is
yes,
great, which must have been a good experience overall, Vamsi, for
yes,
you
yes, yes,
while
yes,
preparing. So that's great, Vamsi. I think you very quickly summarized in very quick, easy points to remember that how important it is to give consistent time,
yes,
identify the areas where you are more uh, likely to need more time. So for Vamsi, it was accounts and costing. For others, it will depend on which subjects and what kind of background you have.
Yes,
Management and Companies Act can be relatively easy to prepare, that's for sure, given the fact they have a lot of factual information that you can, you know, keep
yes, yes,
revising and then reproduce in the exam. And finance and economics, along with the basics, newspaper and updates about the economy will help you a lot. And that's what Vamsi had been doing uh, regularly. Another, I think, important point that Vamsi pointed out was practicing. So regularly taking mock tests to practice questions, a lot of questions, and giving good importance, a well-deserved importance to the subject of descriptive English paper that comes in your phase two. So I think
yes.
those were few inputs just to put in summary what I took from this conversation with Vamsi. And last, before we end, Vamsi Kiran, because you've given, you know, three attempts, and this was the last attempt at SEBI for you. Uh, what would you say would be few mistakes, one or two mistakes that you would recommend to future aspirants to avoid while preparing for these exams?
Yes. Mostly online mock tests are really important, particularly in descriptive areas where people neglect most of the things. And we have to prepare our own notes that will be very much useful, rather than relying we have to make crispy small notes, like it will be very much useful, but right before the exam we cannot revise everything. So
Mhm.
small notes, even if you start early, something or 1 2 pages notes also, it is really useful. Preparing notes is really useful, is what I believe. And in interview, like sometimes it is unpredictable interview, like even I applied for RBI interview, and I did not clear it. So
Mhm.
interview is not in completely in our hands. Like we
Yeah,
cannot be sure. It's like will be favoring more. Like so, what we have to do is only like prepare our job profile and to be thorough with the newspaper related, current related events. That's what we can do for interview.
great, Vamsi. I think very important points you have highlighted, and I'm sure the future aspirants who are listening to this will take note of them and prepare accordingly to maximize their chances of clearing these exams. So, thanks again for taking out time, and wishing you all the best from the
Thank
entire
you. Thank
team
you.
of iXamB. May you have a very fulfilling and satisfying career with SEBI.
Thank you. Thank you very much.